Mine thing says live on Facebook, so
Well, then we must be live on Facebook.
because that's what's popping up on my screen.
We've got the official go. Okay. This is exciting. Thank you so much for doing this, Marissa. I really appreciate it. I think it is nice to hear from somebody who is in the medical field. Let's call it, right? You are in the medical field
Yeah.
and you participate in the shed every single year, which is very cool because I think you have some of the best um, recipe hacks and life hacks. Like you have very creative ways to make it quick and simple with all the food. So before we even dive into that, let's introduce ourselves. Everybody, I think, knows me, Rachel Gerlach with Nutrition Works of Colorado, and Marissa Page. She is a family nurse practitioner. She's been a nurse practitioner in family medicine for 10 years, and then you've recently moved over to rheumatology. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And she is like all of us, hiding in her car so that she can have this conversation without her kids interrupting.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. We all do it right now.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's do this. We're going to say this is what I want everybody to know. If you have questions about the shed, please go ahead and post them. I'm going to watch this live video so we can see the. Oh, Radhika is on. Hi, ladies. Oh, I love Radhika. We're going to go ahead and like that. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, now I'm like listening to something else here. Okay, so we have everybody coming in. So here's the deal. Marissa, this
Yes.
is going to be your third, fourth time fourth time
Fourth,
you've
right? This is the fourth time we're going to do it.
yeah, cuz we
Yeah.
did every January
And we
and
did two.
then
Yeah, we had that extra one.
yep, and then we had a 2.0 in March of this year because
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Whoa, I need that again." So why do you keep doing it?
Each time, I have to say, I learned something new about myself, beyond also feeling fantastic. Um, each time I've had a very different experience, which is a good thing, I think. But ultimately, I would say I know a lot of people kind of look at it more for like the weight loss. I don't think initially I looked at it or decided to do it more from a weight loss standpoint. I did it more for other issues that I have, more physically, or yeah, I guess physically. The weight loss was just kind of an added bonus, which was good. Um, but each time I've done it, I've found something else that I've noticed now that triggers different feelings, which we can get into within my body, and just different mechanisms that not only pertain to the shed or to nutrition, but also then kind of come back full circle into life just in general.
Mhm.
So so yes, I lose weight. Yes, I lose inches. Yes, I gain energy. All of these fantastic things that come from the shed, but I've actually been able to implement them and keep them in my day-to-day life, which is what's awesome about this program. It's not like, hey, do this for like a week or do this for a couple weeks and then you're done and fall back into old habits. It's like, hey, let's try to train you into like not making this happen over and over again and learning something about yourself and how we can apply it to everyday life. So that is why I like the shed.
Right. And I think, I mean, that is like a huge belief system for me. Like within Nutrition Works in general, with all my coaching, is like getting off the yo-yo roll or the yo-yo dieting roller coaster, and not even the dieting roller coaster, but like, does this work and does that work? And when clients call us, they're always like, well, I've tried the elimination diet and I've tried the whole 30 and I've tried, the intermittent fasting and I've tried and tried and tried and tried. And while there are lots of great tools out there, I mean, my biggest value is that I want to teach you how to do it for you. Like Shed is like the platform for it, the educational piece of it, but then I want you to take it, all the shedders to take it and be able to implement into your life so it fits in your life. Not trying to take, like, okay, here's this protocol, if you will. Now shove it in and try to make it work. And that's not, at least I feel when I deliver the product, is that's not what it is. Is like always saying, make this work for your lifestyle so that way you can go back to it on a daily basis and implement it, the struggle, I think the struggle is kind of dropped, if you will. When something is super hard every day, we're not really willing to go out there and like, we're not like, yeah, I can't wait. This is super hard. This
Right.
sucks. What
Other
does,
for me like is incredible is for 30 days I don't have to think about what I'm making to eat because it's all there for me. So for me as a working mom, like busy crazy, like that's another bonus.
yeah, you do like that piece. You talk about that piece a lot. You're like,
I
just
love it.
follow the
Follow
menu.
the meal plan and you will have success and you will feel great.
Right, right. And because right, it is reducing decision fatigue. I
Yeah.
think like the biggest problem that I hear from a lot of clients is like, what do I eat? What do I eat? What do I eat? And then you're thinking, and then you overthink, and then you're like, oh, screw it. I'm just gonna go grab like the pasta and
Yeah.
some, I don't know, some cheesy, delicious sauce. And maybe put some broccoli on top if I'm really feeling energetic. Which nothing wrong with that, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you love that. You're like, just follow the menu, follow the recipes, and it's then I think it becomes super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? So from I'm gonna flip it to like from a physician, right? You're a nurse practitioner from the clinical aspect of it, right? Because there's a lot of cleanses out there that make
Yes.
me nervous,
Yeah.
right? So from the clinical side of it, the product itself and how it is delivered and implemented, like what are your thoughts there?
So yeah, I mean definitely from that aspect, a lot of cleanses that are out there are just basically pushing to basically make you poop everything out. And while that's good to clean out the system in a sense, it's also not done in a very supportive or cell supportive way. And I think what's really important is that you are eating and there is nutrition coming, and I think a lot of what people do is really detrimental because you're starving your body and your body needs nutrients. You can't have good mental energy or physical energy if you're not feeding the body with something that's necessary. So it's really important to have all those really good clean nutrients in order for your body to work the way it's supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
So from that aspect of it, and that's one of the reasons I do it well, is because I do have some knowledge about how the body works and what is it to detox or clean. Detox is not starving the body and pooping. Like it's cleaning out your liver, which is like, I'll never forget in NP school, one of my teachers was like, I don't understand why anybody eats liver. It's the garbage can. It's the garbage of our body.
Right.
And that's where so much gets processed, and so many things don't take that into account or don't focus on that. And I know like the products that we use during the shed really work on cleaning that garbage house out, like getting all of that crap out of our liver, which is really important. So not looking at it from a colon aspect but from a multi-organ aspect is really beneficial too.
Right, because the shed is targeted for the lymphatic system, the hepatic system, which is right that liver, and
Yep.
then your intestinal system, your gastrointestinal system. So it's meant to like, if you're dumping a bunch of toxins out of your liver and then it goes into your bloodstream, well, then of course your lymphatic system has to process it. And
Right.
then hopefully, rather than recycling it, we are sending it through the gastrointestinal. And then, as you say, like we talk about poop all the time, let's be real,
Yeah.
right? In the shed, we're
Oh,
always talking about poop in the shed. But hopefully, you're sending those toxins out. And that is why I think, I think we have the best results is because you're not just focusing on one system in the body. You're
right.
focusing on, okay, if we know the pathway, the detoxification pathway. And I think that that's super important because, you can lose all the weight you want, right? So let's be real. Most people do the shed because they want to lose weight in inches, which is a phenomenal byproduct.
Yeah.
But if you're still filled with a bunch of toxins and your liver is still a sludge cesspool, you're still not going to feel well.
Right.
Right. And so I think that's why, like, during the shed, is everybody about week 2 and week 3 is like, oh my God, I never knew I could have so much energy and sleep
Yeah.
so well.
Yes.
And clear skin. That's another one we hear a lot of, but it really is the energy. So, when you think about this, like, think about doing it again and again and again, right? Like, I think some people think, oh, I'll just cleanse once and then I'm good to go.
Like I said, I really truly learn something new every time. Like, and each time I've done it, I've had such a different response and a different feeling and a different outcome. Like, yes, across the board, like I said, the weight loss in the inches happens every time. And I've had amazing results. I think the first time I did it, I think I lost overall 8 inches off my body in 30 days. I mean, that's crazy, and
And you're not a big person, by the
I,
way.
I'm not, I'm not overweight. I'm not obese. Like, I'm very like average weight when we look at like a BMI.
We love the BMI.
Terms. Yeah. So the first time I lost 8 inches, and I think almost 10 pounds too, something crazy like that. I don't even remember now. And then each year I've continued to lose inches and have lost weight. But, and the other thing that's really amazing is so from January, a couple of years ago to like where I am now, I am 13 pounds lighter. So
Consistently.
so I've consistently have lost weight, and I've consistently kept the majority of it off. Like, I've never yo-yoed all the way back to where I initially started. And I think that's just because of the tools that I've learned and that I stick to. Like, do I quote unquote cheat? Yeah, but I don't, but going through like the coaching and stuff like that, I don't consider it cheating. It's like, I had a day, I caved, I gave in, I wake up and I don't do it again. Like, that's it. That's fine. Like, it doesn't mean that like I've totally lost all of my momentum. I didn't totally harm myself because I had one cheat day or I had some chips. All right, I did it. It's done. Like, I've learned that. So that's great.
Right.
And I think that's also the piece of it too, is we all have those days. And, to think that they don't happen is not realistic. They do happen. They happen to all of us. It's, what are you going to do the next day about it? Are you going to continue on that path? Or are you going to change the mindset and say, all right, that was yesterday. That's done. Let's go forward and let's start again and
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. We talk about that a lot in the shed, right? As we talk about, how do you want to treat your future self?
Right.
And how does that future self show up? How does the 13-pound lighter Marissa show up for herself every single day? And so if you do fall off the proverbial wagon, which I want to blow up the wagon, we've talked about this. There's no fucking wagon. Okay. Everybody just let the wagon go.
I do not use anymore ever since our conversation, like over the summer or last year, I think, whenever it was. I will not use that phrase anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think I said that. Blow up the effing wagon. There is no wagon, like, right? Because then that holds us in this cage. It holds us in this box of like, you're either on the wagon or you're off the wagon. And that just doesn't even make any sense. It's like, no, okay. Like you said, you're human and you had a day, and that the next day you're going to wake up and you're going to live like the woman who maintains the 13-pound weight loss and maintains the energy. And like, I thought it was really cool is watching you over the summer. So you were training, we were all training. Well, me, you, and your brother were training for what we thought was going to be a half Ironman this August or no, September. And I didn't really train. Let's be real.
I was training hard.
You were training hard. And you, like, do you think switching your diet up, like, because you discovered there's certain foods that your body does not like, and you have made a commitment to keep them out, and you've stayed on what it was through trial and error, but you've created what is your lifestyle for your best physical and emotional and mental well-being. So, like, right, you've created that over the years of through the shed, and then you were training for this half Ironman, which you've never done before.
Nope.
You've done Olympic distances, and you were crushing it.
Yeah.
Like, you literally were crushing it. Like, do you think that played into it?
Oh my God. Absolutely. I mean, so yeah, for those that don't know, I woke up one day after having baby number 2 and was like, called Darren, my brother, and said, hey, why don't we do a half Ironman? Because I need something to motivate me. And he goes, you want to go from couch to half Ironman? I was like, yeah, pretty much. And Rachel was wise enough to say, like, why don't we try smaller distances first along the way? Which was a good idea because the first one I did not do so well in and did not have a very favorable response to.
It was still a lot of fun.
It was. We had a good time.
We had a great weekend.
Yes. But I think that first one, I don't think we had done the shed at that point. I think the first shed came after that.
No.
So here I thought I was training, like I was jogging with my, jogging stroller with my 2 kids in it. And I was like, oh yeah, I got this. And I bombed that triathlon, like bombed. And, so yeah, so that was the first one. Come into the shed and kind of learning more about nutrition and how to like support myself and, just really learning how to like also key into how do I feel, and taking the athletic component along with the food component is huge for me. Like I know like a lot of liquid nutrition does not sit well. And I know enough now, like this doesn't feel good. And this is why it's not feeling good, or okay, if I eat this the night before, I know what my workout tomorrow is going to look like. Like I've learned from the shed that my body does so well when I follow more of a pescatarian diet. If I have a really high fish diet, I feel much better and I perform much better. Even just putting in like chicken and turkey, like, okay, they're clean and they're good. I don't respond as well as I do to the salmon and, and tuna and whatever other fish I put in there. But yeah, like, I mean, this summer, so that first triathlon was 4 years ago, I think. This year where I was up to running 10 miles a day and biking 45 miles and in times that I have never run in. Like I'm running 10 miles faster than I could run 3 miles a year or 2 years ago, and consistently holding really good pace. Like, and it's amazing what you can do if you just feed your body well, that's a big piece of it for me.
It was really cool watching that. And also the correlation, it takes people a while. And I think that's what I want to let everybody know is like the shed is like your first introduction into this process of creating your lifestyle around nutrition. And so it has taken you, right? You have you've stacked and you haven't pressurized anything. You've just taken it at a pace of like, okay, I'm going to play around with this and I'm going to figure this out. You use the mindset tools, you implement, you don't create a lot of drama around it. And like you said, you keep learning and learning and learning. And I feel like you've gotten to this point where like, you so well. And then it was almost like you created a predictability index. Like it's like you said, like I eat this and I know what tomorrow is going to be like. What an awareness. Can you imagine if everybody was like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I do that too now is like, if I know if I have a really big day coming up and I need to be on my coaching game and I need to be presenting is like, look, I'm not drinking, right? I'm going to have a ton of water. I'm going to exercise my body. I'm going to eat lots of vegetables because it just gives me energy. Like I've figured that out. No gluten, no dairy for me.
I don't do
so, right? No gluten. And it's like, and that doesn't mean for everybody because people sometimes look at the shed and be like, oh, she's going to tell me I can't eat anything. And then everybody eats a whole bunch leading up to it. They're like, well, I wanted to get the bag of Oreos in. And I'm like, we eat. Don't worry. We eat a lot.
Yes.
Yes. So I think it's super cool. So I could talk to you forever and ever and ever. And I love it. And maybe we'll do it again. But I do have a question. So
yes,
considering everything you get, right? Like you're in the shed, when you sign up, you get the shedders get almost no, actually over $200 worth of product in itself alone. Medical grade, clinically tested, efficacy reports, right? Like is this clean, really good stuff, which is just a piece of it. But considering everything that we do in the shed and everything that you walk away and then the long-term effect, like do you like talk about the price versus the value that you get?
So I think also what's different too is that I mean, the supplements are great, and they're easy to handle. There's nothing that's like gross or like you're holding your nose to get down. Like it really is palatable. It's fine. I consume more calories on the shed and consistently lose weight on it than on my day-to-day basis. So that's really important to know too. Like I know a lot of discussions are like, oh my God, there's so much food or there's so many calories here or this, but it's like, don't even focus on that. Like, because yeah, you're eating a ton, but like you will be surprised at what eating more can create less of in the body. It's amazing. Um, but the other thing that I think is so fantastic with the program, and this is where like the value comes into play, is there is 24-hour communication in so many ways with us. Like the Facebook group is fantastic. Like we're constantly sharing tricks or tips or, hey, check out this recipe I found, or you know what, I'm having a really crappy day. Like, somebody talk me through. Or I remember the first year I did it, I was having so many muscle aches as I was detoxing because I really went from eating terribly to detoxing. And like, it was so nice to be like, other people are like, oh my God, I have the same thing going on. So you're not on your own. And I don't live in Colorado. And I know some of the people, or I guess even a majority of the people, do live in that area who do the shed. I'm in New York, and I'm not necessarily doing it with anybody like in my neighborhood. But I constantly don't feel like I'm alone doing this. So, and like I said, the coaching piece of it, I'm still learning. The first shed, Rachel says to me, because I love to snack at night. She goes, but why are you doing it? Is it because you're hungry, or is it because you like to snack at night? And that still sticks with me. The other night I did it and I was like, Marissa, you're not hungry. Stop going in the kitchen. Like, you don't need this. So 3 or 4 years, whatever it's been now, like the coaching sticks with you. So how could you put a price on that? It's invaluable.
It's so funny. Sometimes people will be like, I remember you said this one. Like, that's what they'll lead in when they see me. They're like, you told me one time. I'm like, oh God, what did I tell her? Because I'm like, I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. And they're like, and it was so great. I'm like, oh, thank God. I bet it's probably like an author when somebody comes up and is like, I read your book. And you're just like waiting for it. But
I got
great.
it.
I'm glad that one worked out, because I say a lot of things that it definitely, can rub people the wrong way if they're not ready for it. So that's awesome. I think, I mean, I personally think I've priced it at a point where everybody can afford to do it. And like you said, is like, it is not just $2.99 for those 30 days. It's $2.99, and you have that information for the rest of your life. And like you said, like, it changes your life. It can't not. And then you can do it whenever you want. If you're like, oh my God, it's been 6 months and I'm just dirty, like I feel just polluted inside, you can go on and you get the link and you can order all the products, and you have all the videos and you have the recordings of our coaching sessions, and you can do it. So it's not just a one and done type of thing. And I do think the community is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in that community has been totally stepping up and supportive. And it's like, I think especially now, there could be a little hesitation with Facebook, but there is nothing political. There is no
No.
poo-pooing anybody. It is not about that at all. It is so encouraging, and that accountability piece, I think, is key. So I hope everybody does the shed, right? I know you're going to do it.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much for doing this and taking your time. I appreciate it. Um, I hope everybody had some benefit. Any parting words for our friends?
No, not really. But I mean, join it, do it. Come see us in our Facebook group. Like and the other thing too is, again, just kind of going back to the piece of like, you're never alone. Like there's still people on it today who are journaling on it, commenting on it, like helping each other through it. So you've got like friends for life with it.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that's really awesome. It's like, it is. It kind of is. It's like, even though we've never actually met
Yeah,
each other, we're in this together. We're making a life change together. It's
absolutely.
way cool. Thank you, Marissa. Thanks for everybody watching. I appreciate it. Register for the shed. Go to nutritionworksofcolorado.com. You'll see in the upper right-hand corner, it says shed, and all you have to do is click on it, register. Within probably 10 days, you'll get your kits. And I would encourage everybody not to wait, please, because we have no idea if things are going to be slowing down in our world. So shipping and manufacturing, right? I want everybody to have their kits and ready to go by January 4th. I don't want there to be any delays. Don't sit on this. Get it now in case there is a slowdown and there is some delays in shipping. So let's all expect that and prepare for it. So take care of your future self by ordering now. Also, Marissa has a great point. Like, grab a friend. Like, you don't have anybody in your community, right? Like, you recently moved and like go grab some friends because it does make it easier. Like if you're meal prepping together or if you just have like the lifeline, like you throw up the bat signal and you're like, oh my God, I need an intervention. Get some friends, grab friends and do it. Grab your family. We'll see you all in the shed. Thanks, Marissa.
You're welcome.
Bye.